As you know, this is an old company that goes back to the 1940s and 50s. I wanted to see for myself how they've expanded in the last 5 years, but also to check with them which policies seem to have assisted them to expand. And I've been very impressed. But I also wanted to understand their challenges so that we can keep changing our policies and fine-tuning and unblocking those blockages. I've been very, very impressed with the growth I've seen here. For example, when I came here, it was almost 5 years ago, it was a small company. It has now expanded basically it has doubled in size. Just the footprint in terms of number of buildings, the number of employees from about 350 now to over 600 employees. That's almost a growth of an averaging 20% per year. I'm even asking whether our figures are correct when we say manufacturing sector is growing at 2.5% per annum. I think that's an underestimate. I didn't see 2.5% here. I saw 20% solid growth per annum in the last 5 years. I'm really, really impressed. They've expanded not just solid foods in terms of biscuits, the sweets, but also into beverages, water bottling. It's so impressive from what I've seen. And they're exporting. And that's commendable. But it also shows that I think the industry in Bulawayo is being resuscitated. It is happening. And they're employing people in the area. And it is really commendable. I think we should continue to support them, and we'll see growth everywhere, not just here, but also right across the country in the sector. Absolutely. The expansion speaks to NDS1, where we'll put in place policies that are seeking to grow our economy at an average rate of 5.5% per year. As I say, in this factory alone, I saw 20% growth per annum. So already they're exceeding the NDS1 targets, and I'm convinced that really will achieve our upper middle income status by year 2030. I'm sure you've seen the latest GDP figures, which are showing our GDP at 47.2 billion. With a population of just about 15 million, it means our GDP per capita, per person, is already at 3,000. I mean, we only need to get to 3,500. I'm sure we can get there in the next 4 years. Yes, they highlighted the issue of power. They have a whole plant that is lying idle because they cannot be supplied with power. We need to intervene, support ZESA so that they're able to deliver on the power demands by industry. What was highlighted was actually the billing system more than the availability of power. It had to do somehow with the efficiency of the billing system. I think this is where ZESA needs to invest more to make sure that they can bill customers on time. They are willing to pay. There's no problem. Right now they're having to import diesel, and diesel is quite expensive just to get power to drive their factories. Surely, ZESA needs the money. If you can invest in a decent billing system, make sure that it works, customers are willing to pay. The company needs carbon dioxide, that is at food grade, to produce beverages, produce drinks. But currently in the country, there's a shortage of carbon dioxide. I think the opportunity for someone to step in and start producing the carbon dioxide. I think that a company like Verify Engineering, which is under government, as you know, during COVID, they set up a plant in Mutare to produce medical oxygen. And they're doing very well, they're even exporting. I always seriously encourage them to also venture into manufacturing carbon dioxide, which is food grade, to support the beverages sector. They can only make money if they go in that direction, and that will create the right linkages across industry. But really what I saw here today is really truly impressive, the growth that I've seen. There is a backlog from the auction that we're conducting. Let me say, put it this way. First of all, companies were celebrating the fact that they were benefiting from the auction. Most of this equipment came from the forex that was available through the auction. But unfortunately, in the last one, there's been a backlog. They've highlighted that, whereas government will then step in and deal with it, will resolve it.
Thank you very much. My name is Steve Ncube. I'm the compliance officer for Arenel Foods, or Arenel Foods Limited. This company has grown in the past 5 years, quite expanded in terms of the manufacturing plants that we've acquired, and thanks obviously to the government in terms of support through the auction system, as most of our equipment we bought through process from the auction system, and we urge the government to relook into that and obviously maybe refine it so that it becomes a market-driven auction system. We've acquired state-of-the-art plant, I think you've seen during the tour, and we actually expanding. We're buying more equipment, we're buying new plants, we're in the process of installing and commissioning a new biscuit oven and also a new bread oven. We also seen a new carbonated soft drinks plant that was commissioned 2 years ago, and we are actually expanding. And we're actually in the process of commissioning also a pasta plant. And that's the expansion drive that we've embarked on. Look, we are seeing opportunities in this country. That's why we are investing in this country. We're expanding in this country. Obviously, there are challenges that we are facing as a business, like in other business, but we are hopeful that we'll pull through.
Okay. Yeah.
One of our new product lines, we haven't started the installation, but we already have got the bread oven in the country, in the company. We're just waiting for installation and commissioning of that bread oven. 5 years is about 8 million, but in total it's about 26 million for the investment that we put into this business. But the first 5 years is about 8 million. 5 years ago, we were employing about 350 employees, but now the numbers have grown to about 600.
Okay.
In terms of capacity utilization?
Capacity utilization, we are growing. We are around 50% of it. But we obviously, close to the year, I think as things improve, the economic fundamentals improve, we likely to increase our capacity utilization.
And also,
As part of our corporate social responsibility, we employ people from Jaros Chile. We've got about 5 ladies that are coming from Jaros Chile that we employ in our production factory, especially the seeds factory. And we also, as part of support of people living with disabilities, we buy baskets from them, baskets that we use to then put hampers that we then give to people as part of our social responsibility. And as part also of our social responsibility, I think we are aware that we've got a team in the Premier League now, Arenel Rovers, is employing quite a number of people as part of our corporate social responsibility. Yeah, we are growing. Our anchor market being South Africa, but we're also selling to other certain countries like Botswana, Zambia, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia.
And which are the
also,
products?
Looking at other countries, new frontiers, since becoming North African continental free trade area, trying to take advantage of that market. It's mainly biscuits and sweets that are finding the market. Obviously, we also selling some of the beverages to some of these countries. For later beverage, it's got a ready market in Malawi. We are also, as a new product, the soft drinks, it has also found a market in South Africa and these other countries. Seriously impacting, especially the biscuit manufacturers, the biscuit industry. You will find that there's one product that is actually flooded the market, and obviously that product is not coming through the formal channels, so they're not paying VAT, they're not paying duty. But we're actually under siege as the biscuit manufacturers in this country from that product.